उसामा बिन लादेन की हलाकत, पाकिस्तान में अमेरिका के किरदार और इस पर बहुत सारी बातें आपने उन तालिब इल्मों के मुंह से सुनी जो कि इन तमाम सवालात का जवाब जानना चाहते थे। इस वक्त हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं अमेरिकी सफ़ीर कैमरन मंटर। Mr. Munter, welcome to Dawn News.
It's a pleasure to be here and a pleasure to be in Hyderabad.
You're in Hyderabad. People are, from what we've spoken to, say that you're on a pacification mission. You're trying to mend fences with the people who were hurt after what happened with Osama bin Laden.
Not at all, not at all. I'm here to learn. I'm here because I've heard of the great things that happened in Hyderabad. I went to a fabulous university this morning where I talked with the cream, I think, of your young people. I saw an enormous amount of talent, great questions, great people, and this is the future, I think, of our relationship. That's what I'm here to do, to talk about our future.
Okay. Now, talking about the future, you say that now is the time to actually move on and look ahead rather than look in the past. But how do you think the Pakistani nation as a whole and the government will be able to look past it? There are certain clear rifts between and a lack of trust, which seems to be widening.
I don't agree. I think that we have the possibility here, an opportunity to really take a good look, an open look at the kind of things that we agree on and the things we disagree on. That's what friends do. The mission to get Osama bin Laden, who is an enemy of Pakistan and an enemy of America and an enemy of all people in the world who love peace, was a success. And the leaders of your country, when I first told them about this, the first words out of their mouths were congratulations. And the reason is we share those kind of values. So your point about how do we talk about moving ahead, let's build on the things we share, our satisfaction that we've gotten one of the worst obstacles in world peace out of the way, and that we can move ahead now. I'm pretty optimistic we can do that.
I think you had a very good session with I was there in the session, I was listening to the young people coming to you with those questions. The underlying part of that question was the certain lack of trust, the certain fear that there is a certain perception from the United States, there is a certain lens with which the United States views the people of Pakistan. How do you think you're going to be able to change that?
Well, I disagree with your characterization of our session. 3/4 of the session was about education. The questions that came were good questions about Osama bin Laden and about our relations. They were tough, as you said, but the real underlying basis of our relationship is the kind of stuff I like to do, which is talking about education, talking about opportunity for your students, talking about how we want to get more of our students and people here. This kind of people-to-people contact will lead, in my mind, to the future where these other tough questions about the Osama bin Laden case, about the Raymond Davis case, these things that you talk about which have been difficult, that's how we get past them, by working on these kinds of relationships.
Ambassador Munter, also, can you underline now that you've said that there are areas which Pakistan and the United States will need to work together on? What about the ROZs? What about the areas where there was supposedly a lot of help that was going to come from the United States? It has not materialized thus far. And how would you defend that?
I think you've got a very good point. We've been slow. We, I think it was 5 years ago, committed ourselves to opening these ROZs so that your goods, which are high quality, could come into the American market. Because just like you, we want you to have trade with us. We don't think assistance is the answer. It might help along the way, but real economic relations are the answer. Fortunately, your friends in the United States, in the US Senate, and in the House of Representatives are reintroducing ROZ legislation for that very reason. But I have to say, you're right. We've been way too slow, and we have to work more.
How do you think that is going to happen with now that you said that the Pakistani leadership initially, after the bin Laden episode, came out with congratulatory notes, and you heard the Prime Minister yesterday saying that he was not happy with what happened. How do you think that's going to happen?
Well, I think that what we have to separate is people's feelings and the objective issues we've got to deal with here. I understand that there are people in Pakistan who are concerned. People in Pakistan who want to build this trust and are concerned about the issues that come out of the questions that have arisen about bin Laden. Because, look, we have questions. We're still asking, why was he here? These are questions. These are important questions. But once those questions are answered, let's get past that feeling and really sit down and figure out what's best for Pakistan, what's best for America. I think when we define that, we're going to find that we have a lot in common. Fighting terrorism, building education, making your goods more accessible to the United States, fighting those people who would change your way of life. We have a lot in common. We simply have to work it through.
Ambassador Munter, in the brief period that you've been here, being the ambassador, I'm quite sure that it's one of the most toughest times that any ambassador has faced. How do you think, and what do you see as the solution to these problems? You say that we've got to work out and find out what's best for the United States and what's best for Pakistan. In your opinion, what is best for Pakistan?
What's best for Pakistan is to be true to itself, to be true to the vision of Jinnah, of tolerance, to be true to the historical traditions that are open to the world. I mean, this is not a country that should look inward. This is a country that should look outward. You should be a country exporting to the world. You should be a country whose students can travel anywhere. How do we get there? We have to take care of the security issue. There's no doubt.
ये थे अमरीकी सफ़ीर कैमरन मंटर, जिन्होंने आज अपना दिन हैदराबाद में गुजारा। इनका कहना था कि पाकिस्तान को यकीनन इस बात के जवाब देना होगा कि उसामा बिन लादेन पाकिस्तान में पहुंचा कैसे, और इन सवालात के जवाब देने के बाद ही दोनों ममालिक आपस में एक दूसरे के साथ रवाबित बेहतर कर सकेंगे। उनका ये भी कहना था कि रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन अपॉर्चुनिटी जोन्स और पाकिस्तान की सही मायनों में मदद के बारे में अमरीका सुस्त रवि का शिकार रहा है और अमरीका को भी अपने हालात और पाकिस्तान के साथ ताल्लुकात को बेहतर करने की ज़रूरत है। अब तक के लिए इतना ही। मैं हूँ उसामा बिन जावेद।